Hello, and welcome to this presentation of 300 Entertainment, changing the way consumers view how we invest in our artists and highlighting what we put into artist development. This presentation has been put together by Tanisha Jackson, Aisha Green, and Nicholas Davis. Right now, at 300 Entertainment, we have a serious publicity problem. Some of our top artists are unhappy with their current contract situation and are publicly insulting the company. With us being portrayed in such a poorly light, we need to fix our reputation, not only amongst the public, but among potential future artists as well. Our intent is to create a YouTube series that highlights the process of how our artists are chosen. We will highlight the resources used by the company to develop the artist, and our goal is to refocus our fan base on the actual music itself, while highlighting the resources that we put into our artist. We look to capitalize off the projected growth of video on the internet, which is projected to increase by 22% by 2022, to an overall viewing rate of 82% of the internet. Meaning that 82% of the internet will be used at any given time for video view. This gives us the opportunity to grow and get on a trend before anyone else. 300 Entertainment came into existence in 2012 with 7 venture capitalist investors. We are a privately held record label with an advanced scouting system that uses analytics to determine rates of view, likes, and participation on social media platforms such as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We've developed corporate partnerships with Google and YouTube, who have given $5 million to help develop some technologies. We also have recently signed a deal with Twitter to help our analytics and how we grow our business and how we find up-and-coming artists. We aim to stay ahead of current technologies. And realistically, the music industry is very competitive. We will be dealing with a lot of direct competition from other record labels. We're looking at top-end record labels that we want to be competitive with. We're also going to have competition on YouTube with our streaming services and our viewership from the likes of Vivo, who has over 17 million subscribers. For this project, Amy Vaughn, our Senior Vice President of Promotions, will take the lead for the Signature Series. Current members of our A&R and Marketing and Development team will also be used for the show. The selection process for the show will feature how we collect data. In a way, we don't want to give away our whole algorithm, but we'll feature how we scout artists to find new artists to sign to the label. Once we are satisfied that they are the ones we want to talk to and take into consideration, we will ask them for an EPK press kit. And once we receive the kit and determine that we would like to move on further with them in the show, we will talk to them, let them know they have a spot, and give them the information on the $5,000 sign-up fee. The $5,000 fee will be used for traveling and promotion and studio from each artist, divided up into 2 sectors. One will be a down payment of $2,500, and another one will be a $2,500 payment due when the show starts. The show will run for 12 weeks. This giving each of the 10 artists a 1-hour-long episode to highlight themselves, to show their creative process, to show how well they work with the others in the house, and show what we put into the artist as far as development, A&R, marketing, and tools that they can use that will be provided by us. This also has one show, 1-hour-long slot for the season opener, which will be highlighting our selection process, and a season finale, which will be a recap show so that all of the fans can relive the moments from the series and then make their decision on who they want to vote for. The winner of the series will be based off a hashtag system across all platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They will use the hashtag provided by us for the artist that they most want to see with us in the future, and the winner will be the one who ultimately uses his signature on a 300 Entertainment contract. For marketing purposes, we plan on utilizing social media for the majority of it. Advertising through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram gives us the ability to select specific markets and demographics and saturate the people we are targeting the show to with ads. It also keeps us at a very low cost-effective strategy for advertising with an estimated $250 per week during the course of the show. The total sales for the show will be comprised of three main factors. There's the artist fee, as previously discussed. Then we have ad sales on the show, which are broken up to 5 slots per show times the 12 weeks of the show. And we used the projected views per show we came up with by taking the last 10 episodes of Breakers and averaging out the views per show. So that's how we get the number. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Also, we have a title sponsor that will be featured on the show, saying that the show is presented by Ciroc, for example. That's who we're really aiming for. And they will have product placement within the show. Distribution will mainly be on YouTube and iTunes. YouTube will be the home of the show, and iTunes will feature release from the featured artists the songs that they had worked on within an hour after the show has been published. Our sales projection is based on running 2 seasons per year. We have it broken down to 3 cents per view, with an average estimated total views of 5,571,600 over the course of a year. This is based on the average views of the last 10 Breakers episodes and multiplied by the number of shows we have and the ad space available per show. That's what makes up the projected volume that you see here. Our title sponsor will be paying $2,000 per episode to be sponsored and featured and have their product used within the show. Our budget includes $6,000 of advertising. That's $3,000 per season, which rounds out to around $250 a week, plus a portion of Amy Vaughn's salary, which will be dedicated to her time working on the show, totaling $26,000. New employee hirings are estimated at $131,345, this being for the sound engineer, camera operator, editor, and audio engineer that will be used for the show. Insurance and utilities living space are projected at $11,000, and the equipment necessary for the show includes a passenger van that will be a one-time purchase, as we can use it for multiple seasons ahead. Finally, we have our professional services set aside for our legal team that will be used in making sure that our contracts are put together properly and all of our licensing requirements are met for the show. Year 1 of the strategy is the most important year for the project. We will be putting the infrastructure in place that includes the legal and promotional departments and components of producing the show. We will focus on friendlier terms for new artists that come on the show, as well as new artists that we signed during the year. We also want to implement a check-in system with artists to make sure that they are still happy with their contracts, and if they're not happy, what we can do to help them out. Having all the staff and everything in place is a huge focus of ours, and this will help us going into future seasons. Year 2, we will make any necessary changes based off of the successes of Year 1. The changes include the volume rate for sales of advertisement. We will also look to expand opportunities within the show and outside of the show for artists on our roster and artists within the show, trying to find different ways to highlight their capabilities. We are expecting a 2% growth in viewership of the show. As terms with the artist improve, we hope to move our weekly check-ins to a bi-weekly, making sure to keep our artists happy. In year 3, again, we plan on making any necessary changes to the infrastructure of the show as far as viewer rates and advertisement sales, things of that nature. We hope to build off success of years 1 and 2 of the Signature Series and continue to expand our opportunities for the artists. We are expecting 2% growth in this year as well, and we hope to move our check-in system to a monthly check-in per artist. The Signature Series gives us an opportunity as a company to expand our lineup of artists. More artists mean more tour and merchandising opportunities for our overall company portfolio, as well as increased streams and sales on iTunes. We also have the capability to increase our relationships with current corporate sponsors, as well as building new partnerships with corporate sponsors in the future. In conclusion, overall, we have the ability to change the public perception of 300 Entertainment. This not only helps the public, but also helps in the recruiting of new talent by giving us the ability to show them and highlight the investments that we are willing to make in our artists. We are able to let prospective talent see what they will be getting with the 300 Entertainment experience. Thank you for your time. This concludes this presentation of 300 Entertainment. We now open the floor to questioning.